Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see fourth-year quarterback Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys as they take on Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. With that, let's get up to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. We're standing by for the call are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the ladder when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying, fly, Eagles, fly, as they get ready to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Calling the action from up top, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis with you. We got an NFC East matchup here, CD. The most difficult division year to year to really predict. In fact, no team has repeated as division champ since 2004, 15 years ago.
And that was the Eagles, correct?
Yeah.
They went back-to-back. Well, let's be honest about it. The way that these teams match up, the way that they draft, all trying their best to win their division. Very similar styles. Eagles won the Super Bowl not that long ago. Washington with good health. They were winning the division last year late in the season. How about New York with the Giants trying to make their move? And, of course, Dallas won the division a year ago. But this division is so interesting with Saquon Barkley in New York. Did you know that the caddy of Tiger Woods wore Saquon Barkley's jersey underneath his caddy outfit at the Masters in 2019 when Tiger won for the first time in a long time? Let's be honest about it. Saquon Barkley, he's pretty popular.
Now a two-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. Cowboys and Eagles, of course, such a great rivalry. Last year, the Cowboys got the better of the Eagles both times that they met, with Philly coming off their Super Bowl title. But in weeks 10 and 14, it was Dallas beating Philly by a single possession. This is the former Nittany Lion, the rookie Miles Sanders. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
On second and 11 now. Wentz completes it to Aguilar. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. Here's the offense, and sometimes you got to show love to the big guys.
That you do. And we're talking about Jason Kelce now, not Travis, his brother, who plays tight end. Jason lines up at center, a threat to go to the Pro Bowl each and every year.
They wound up getting nothing out of that second down completion, so now here's 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Wentz. It's caught by Aguilar. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first.
Let's go.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. And shedding his way forward. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Now Prescott. Complete to Jason Witten. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 40.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this 1st drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Powers through. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended. Target, but now it'll be 3rd down. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. On 3rd down, Elliott. He gets away from 1. Fights free yet again. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 36 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
And now Jason Garrett electing for his guys to try for 2. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he will get in to make it 8-0. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. Forbat to send it away now following the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Well, CD, let's look at Philadelphia's season here as they come back out here for this next drive. 5-7, 3 straight losses, but this last one was the real head-scratcher, 37-31 to the Miami Dolphins. And they had a chance to pull into a tie with the Cowboys because the Cowboys are 6-6. Still a chance at that division, obviously, but that was not a good look against Miami.
To put it mildly, and while they have the opportunity to still win the NFC East, remember, if they win out, they control their own destiny and they'll win the division. That's getting tougher and tougher to hang your hat on. They're 0-7 now when trailing in the fourth quarter this season. They finish with the NFC East, all within their own division. Home against the Giants, at Washington, home for Dallas, at the Giants. Looks like a good schedule and manageable, but they're not playing at a level where it's manageable. They're playing at a level right now where any of those teams can beat them, and that's what Philadelphia has to figure out because it just doesn't make sense that a roster this good is sitting there at 5-7 at this point in the season.
He was brought down by Malik Collins. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
Robert Quinn is one of the better defensive ends in the league, 6.5 sacks in 2018. But he had a 3-year stretch with double-digit sacks from 2012 to 2014. When he's at peak physical condition, he's a handful to handle for an offense.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Mike 54. Check Mike, check Mike. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing.
Let's go,
Offense for the Cowboys working their way back out here. Charles, somebody has got to win the NFC East. It's like
really,
it's just up for grabs. The Cowboys right now, after that loss on Thanksgiving to Buffalo, they're 6-6, but they are in first place still in the division. Hard to believe.
It is hard to believe, but you're right. One of those two teams is going to win the division. We know that there's no wild card coming out of the East now. It's win or you're going home with everyone else. How about this? Dallas on Thanksgiving Day had a chance to create some distance, didn't they? They didn't get it done. Buffalo came in and whacked them. They finish now at Chicago, and I believe that's a Thursday nighter. And then they're home for the Rams, and then they're at Philly, and that could be the game that determines who wins the East, and finish up at home with Washington. They have not beaten good teams all year long. They'll have their chance now because I'm going to count Chicago as a good team, and I'm counting the Rams as a good team. And in the Philadelphia game, we'll see how it all turns out.
That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up a second down. Dak Prescott last year against Philly, boy, biggest game of his career passing yardage-wise, 455 yards, 3 touchdowns in a 29-23 December victory over the Eagles. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defense.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
So 2 successful 2-point tries now for them.
And you know what it does? It gives you a boost, a huge one for your team because, hey, you're dominating them now. They can't stop you either scoring touchdowns or 2-point conversions. But how about the defense? You don't know what to do at this stage. You can't stop them in any direction.
Forbat to send it away now following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. To throw is Wentz. Over the middle, complete. That's Ward. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A big pickup there for the Eagles' 1st down, 18 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
16-0. That's the score after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wentz. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. The sack by Robert Quinn.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive 1st half to get that lead. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Wentz on the give to Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for the loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And with the day he's having as we look at some of these highlights, maybe he wants to duplicate this pregame meal next week.
Whatever it is, guaranteed he will ask for the exact same thing each and every week as long as he continues to run like that. Sometimes it's that simple, partner.
Yeah.
And
you know how superstitious these guys can be.
There's no doubt.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Elliott. Oh, he sheds himself free. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big run that time by Elliott. 57 yards. So they had him bottled up, able to make a man miss, and then boom, off to the races.
And it's how he made him miss. A little bit of strength, too. Had to work through contact to get him off of him. And then once he did that, now he put his agility to use and took off.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On second down, Elliott. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He'll buy some time, and he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
And now Jason Garrett electing for his guys to try for 2.
Let's get it together, defense.
They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And another tackle broken. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And so they run it in on the two-point try. And it's so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the two-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the two-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for two. Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Gets past one man. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's third down. They caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catches. Hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And a good result there, as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll run with Elliott. Shrugs him off. And strong running there gets this up over the 15-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Watch the screen, watch the screen.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down.
That type of run right there, that just fires me up when I watch it, because that's maybe the most underrated aspect of his game. The ability to break tackles and know where the first down chains are and pick them up.
He's tough, good pedigree. Dad Stacy was a linebacker at Missouri.
Yeah, and how about Mom on the track team? So I think that's where the speed came from. And she's not shy about letting us know that, too.
Yeah, I got the best of both worlds. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Jason Witten, the intended target, and it's third and short.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. If you get careless with the football, look out.
A pass down the middle is fought for and hauled in. Touchdown, Cowboys! Jason Witten, 50 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And now Jason Garrett electing for his guys to try for 2. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And they are 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game that 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. On second down, it's Sanders. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Elliott going to bite off about 7 on that one. A good run on first down. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On second down now, it's Elliott. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Let's give them a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Here's Elliott. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one good for 33 and a first.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott in the final seconds of the first half as his guys continue to pour it on.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
And a short kick, taking it about the 16. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one, maybe not the hard-fought battle many had hoped for. This has been blowout city thus far, but still more football to be played. Who knows what could happen? As we send you right back out to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Elliott. And he's got this down to the 35. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Cowboy first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll run on first down. It's Elliott. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
He's got the first down inside the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Taking it in from 24 yards out as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he will get into the end zone again. And he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. CD, while we have a quick second here, I want to give a shout-out to 3 teams who have struggled mightily this year, who all got wins in Week 12. The Dolphins, the Redskins, and for their first win of the season, the Bengals.
How about you? I love your empathy, right? You hate to see teams struggle like this. Hate to see teams that are down. And when they get wins, you come with a little bounce, don't you? You got a little extra spring in your step. Those Bengals, and they beat the Jets, who at the time were hot, right? They won 3 in a row. How about Washington? That win over Carolina. And then, of course, the Dolphins. No one really saw that coming. Their win over Philadelphia, even though it was at home. Could those wins for those teams be the death knell for the teams that lost? The Jets, we're not going to talk about them anymore. Carolina, they still thought maybe a late run could put them in the playoff race in the NFC South. And then how about Philadelphia? But they're not out of it.
No.
They still control their destiny. If they win out, they go 9-7 and win the NFC East.
Yeah, because they're just one game back of 6-6 Dallas. This pass complete, wins to Ertz, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. It's complete, left side to Aguilar.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
To throw, it's Wentz. Man open, it's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Running with Howard. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Howard. Now Howard stripped. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. He's at the 30. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, and a great play for that defensive unit. So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the 2-point try. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. And is there bad blood here? I mean, and go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You're going over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Got a man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. A big pickup there for the Eagles' 1st down, 18 yards. Wentz now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now Howard. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. A big pickup there for the Eagles' 1st down, 18 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Took till the 2nd half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Now Sanders. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So on comes the Eagle kicker, Jake Elliott, on 4th down.
Jake Elliott on for the field goal.
The kick by Elliott is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag?
You
just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. They score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
On first down, Elliott. Power running by Zeke. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Not only an explosive play, but an explosive run. I mean, broken tackles along the way to pick up that yardage.
The way things kept churning for him. Feet were moving. The legs were driving. Looks like someone who spent his off-season working on hill work, running through sand, all the things that you want to build up those leg muscles.
And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. This is Elliott, able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Power running by Zeke. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott, and his pass incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the two-point conversion to extend this lead. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a two-point conversion differently than if it was first and goal from the two, or I should say third and goal from the two.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your lineman surge and fire out.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
I
don't know about that. Super tough.
To throw again on second down. Wentz. Open man is Arcega-Whiteside. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Wentz on the draw, leaves it for Sanders. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Now Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. He finds Aguilar over the middle. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down. At the 31-yard line. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up second and 6. Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. The Eagles on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is third and 10. On the draw, here's Sanders. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. On the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 30, 10, 5, touchdown, Cowboys. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times where they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the two-point try. They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Needed a couple yards for the two-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On second down and 4. Wentz. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 8. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum.
Yesterday, which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And down to the 28-yard line.
Let's go, baby.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games for the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the... And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Forbath to send it away now following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Tighten up.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wentz completes it to Aguilar. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
At the 32-yard line. What's this on?
On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Philly.